the fourth live build of working on this. I haven't done anything not on camera besides the sanding, which takes using the vacuum. So that's not very fun to watch. The vacuum is really loud. So you can see I got this transition done. That looks pretty cool. I like the way it came out. The only other thing I did really off camera was I measured not this piece. I measured for this piece. I put that in there. Found some other like scatter terrain stuff to start working on this little shrine. So I think I'm going to start with putting this thing in here because I think it's going to look cool as heck. So I'm going to try to be going slow and steady with this. It would have been smarter if I had decided to put this on prior to gluing and spackling everything together. But c'est la vie. Okay, so I think I got my initial scoring kind of done. Once I have that, I'll go ahead and try to cut all the ways through. And this doesn't have to be the most beautiful cut because we're going to put this other little bit right in there. Oh, I think we might be hitting styrofoam right there as well. Yeah, a little hot glue, a little styrofoam. Alright, so now we got this space opened up for us. Not bad. I think I just need to trim it down just a little bit. And oh, it's right back here. Let's try it. It's as good as we're gonna get. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this guy up in here. I'm just going to hot glue it for now. I'll gap fill with some texture, probably coconut fiber. I cut that hole just a little bit too big, so it's a little bit wobbly in there, but maybe I'll just add a little extra hot glue down here on the base. So there is a point with hot glue where you do just have to stop and let it cool down because you're dealing with it. Yes, Cheryl, I am making a 1 foot by 1 foot piece of a 3 foot by foot board for a game called Necromunda that uses 28 millimeter models. It's produced by a company called Games Workshop. Um, yeah, so this is one square of what is a much bigger board. And if you want for a second, I can show you another one. So that's a completed one right there. Of course it needs paint and all of that, but that's what we're striving for. I have been building these all on live stream. Not all of them, but these last couple on live stream. And it's been really fun. It's been a nice incentive to continue building. So that's what I'm doing. And I felt like building even though I've streamed today. So said if I'm gonna work on it, I gotta stream. So that's what I'm doing. Thanks for coming in and checking it out. So the next bit, we got this piece in here and it has cooled. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the rest of the gaps, at least just a little bit. I like that. It's a nice, here I'll bring it a little closer. Nice little door in there now. Necromunda, Warhammer, 40K, Kill Team, Grimdark Future, Grimdark Firefight, any other sci-fi game. Lindsay Family Exotics asked what game we play. That's it. I mean, hell, if you bend your imagination a little bit, it can be a fantasy, and then you can play Mordheim, Frostgrave, whatever you'd like. I do have a couple more bits. I wanted to put this nice, cool statue over next to the shrine. When I do the candle bits, I think I will put some candles on him or something. Nice. See? Oh. Well, I have a few buddies that play, and I also, there's always the friendly local game store that you can go, nowadays with the internet, there's quite a few ways to meet up with people to play. Find other enthusiasts around where you live. I do suggest doing that if you are interested. Find yourself a friendly local game store and see what they're offering. That's always a good way to get into the hobby. So that I don't want to put this piece on yet. I'm gonna wait. I might do some. I think it'd be cool to do some like tiling or some brickwork there. So that might be a thing. I think the next bit I need to go on to is putting a little more structure on the top of this piece. I found this, I don't know what it was for, a baby gate or something. Or maybe not, it could have been like a coat rack, I don't remember. A bunch of tubes and then these couple of pieces in the garbage, so I snagged it. I would like to, I feel like it would look pretty good like that, and give a good support for whatever I put it there. So as you can see, I put some spikes on the bottom because this is styrofoam. I'm going to shove this down in here, and that's how I'm going to use to anchor it. So let's hope this is lined up where I like it. nice and easy. It's a little off, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. It is pretty stable, so that's cool. So the other thing I did off camera is I cut and I measured a few pieces here, because I just wanted to be able to build a little bit more quickly and efficiently for you guys. So I did cut out a walkway. So this, I think, is going to end up on top of there. It'll be right about like right there. So, but before I put that on, or before I even commit to having this here, the spikes in the ground kind of are committed, huh? Yeah, that's right. I have to work on the walkways a little bit. So, like I've said before, I don't mind if there's hot glue. I just don't want it in blobs. So if we smear it around, it'll give us a rough texture, which will allow for other texture pastes and wood glue and filler and stuff to stick to it a little bit better. I like that already. So that's good. So then before I really can put this on here, I'm gonna need to do a little work on it. And how I do that, how I build these is usually with these paper straws. So I'm just going to basically line the edges with paper straws. It'll help support it a little bit, and it will give it a nice visual edge. So trim that up a little bit better. There we go. Get us some hot glue. Try to place it real centered. And smear that little hot glue blob. Boom. So then, and sometimes I'll do like, I'll cut this at an angle and have these line up really good. But because this is just a piece sticking out, I kind of want to leave holes open because I might run like chains or something dripping out at the end, wires and such. This almost fits perfectly. I gotta check. Oh yeah, wait. How the other piece lines up. See, I think it lines up a little bit more like that. So this is going to be a little bit shorter. So then at least got to straighten this out a little bit. This cut is a little bit crooked, and I just want it to be a little bit smoother. And I don't really have to worry about being too clean with my hot glue here, because I can just smear it a little bit, and I'm going to cover it all in texture anyway, so it just needs to be secure. And you can totally work, if you're confident in not gluing this to your workspace, you can totally just work on it like that, with it sitting on your work page. I'm gonna do this other side real quick. Awesome. I might add this other piece that I just cut off this side, just to get this pipe to run all the way to the end. Great. So there's one of them done. So just gonna do this other one too. Seems convenient that one straw basically is this long. It's like I planned that or something. It's not. I got really lucky. That's what that is. Super lucky. Go ahead and get this other side on here. Gotta grab some more hot glue. Oh, let's put it on here. And this is another easy way to make walkways too. So if you're having trouble on your necromunda board with not having enough movement, like say you built a bunch of stuff like this thing, but you don't have any ladders, or you didn't build any walkways, these are going to be very big barricades because you're going to have to waste movement trying to climb up over everything. So you can make walkways then that sit, reaching from building to building. So just some of this plastic card stuff it's really pretty strong, and when you reinforce it with the straws, it makes it even stronger. And if you need to, you can always get like a wooden dowel and glue it inside of there too. That will give it a lot more strength. If you're using them as walkways, that's a good thing to do. I'm just going to cut this in piece real quick. Okay, I'm just gonna set those aside. Nothing cool. Oh, I do have a little extra piece. I'm gonna stick it on here, just to match the other side and finish it off. Bam. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, so now let me pull this guy back. I got to start thinking about how I'm going to support those platforms I just made. So I'm going to do this piece with, well, I'm going to do them all supported by the paper straws. So it is hot in here. But this one already has this nice piece, and I was thinking it might be nice to try to find something that's like a L-shaped that I could stick right here as kind of make a little bit of a table. So I am going to take these little things off of this little thing over here. We don't have a screwdriver. So, I thought these would look perfect. Perfect. So now this is that platform we just made. Now it's going to sit there way more secure. Don't necessarily feel like I need to add any more supports than that. So how do I feel about this? Get a couple different perspectives is always the best way when you're looking. If you're always looking at it from down, you might miss some joint or something like that. So that's how it's going to come out. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this here now, because then I can kind of reverse engineer its supports, because it will be quite supported from this piece. I just got to make sure that I line it up right. It's a little sloping, but a little warping and a little twisting. That is always good for the underhive. It always makes the piece look pretty interesting when it is a little bit more warped and dilapidated. Okay. So, well, that's perfect. But now I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna glue it from a little bit of a different angle. Just to make sure we really got a good bond up there. Because we don't want it popping apart. All right. So now to reverse engineer. Ooh, that was loud. Sorry. Some supports here. Now I don't think a full piece is going to reach there. But what if I put one coming out of here, like it's like this rubble or this concrete wall has been busted away, but the support itself wasn't busted. So let me see if I can't do like slide this dowel in here. But I like it. Just adds an extra little odd support. Allows this to stay ruined. Very cool. What up, Trevor? What's my favorite game to make terrain for? Probably. I like making sci-fi rubble because we live in a post-industrial society that manufactures a lot of things, so it's very easy to get very industrial looking pieces just out of the garbage. So that's probably my favorite. OSHA compliant handrails. I will try to remember them. I did grab something. Oh, I must have left the other. I'm always like picking out weird garbage and stuff that's just gonna get thrown away, and I did find. I don't know what they reminded me of would have been like, you know, those raisable or big yellow poles that keep cars from driving down sidewalks or whatever. That's basically what they look like. They're made out of metal, but I thought that they might be like a good use for a rail or a guard or something. So got that on there. It isn't glued, but I can do that really easily. So I did want to put this walkway here. Now that I'm seeing it, the angle isn't right, which is fine because I might actually lower this one now that I see them together, because I can always put a ladder here and it'll just give me a height variation. So I kind of like that, and I kind of like this being maybe even an area where you're not necessarily supposed to walk. And then I can line this up a little bit better, which will help me when I try to build the supports for this. But let's see, what else can I do on this part? So I did have like a little bit of a sprue left over. So mostly antennas and stuff, which I don't want to put on now because I'll just break them while I'm working on it. So we might set that one. Little generator might be cool. Yeah, I can do those later when I have my little snips. Let's see. I'm gonna do something like that. Got that. Let's just reinforce a little bit then. Reinforce this a little bit, and maybe I'll start working on where my supports are gonna land for this next guy. What up, big boy game time? I didn't even see you in there. Thanks, bud. So yeah, I'm gonna put some supports up on here. So I feel like this should be wide enough. And if I need to, I can run a cross brace in there. What would be cooler is to run like an X this way on the inside of the vertical poles, because that always makes it look very industrial. So I'm gonna try to keep these things as square as possible, so I'm going to use this thingy. I think it's called a square. And I'm just going to glue these in here. Enough mucking about. Glue that together. And I'm going to try to hit the same spot on this side, give or take. Again, I'm going to smear my hot glue, keep it roughed up, keep it from looking like little glassy blobs. I don't mind the strings so much. You can always hit them with a heat gun, or a lighter if you have to get rid of them. So it's not that big of a deal to me. I really don't like the glossy surface. It just makes a hard surface to stick things to. So I think I want to do the same thing, just about the same distance, just on the other side. So try to keep like a little popsicle stick or a sprue or whatever that I rough the hot glue up with, so I'm not constantly burning my hand. Constantly burning your hand is your thing. That's cool. Feel free to do that. Nah, I'm joking. Don't hurt yourself. The hot glue can be really hot, and I have used my thumbnail before and scraped it and then blistered on the inside of my thumbnail, and it was a horrible experience. So be careful of the hot glue. So I'm just gonna have to cut this one a little bit, because where it would fit down between this wiggly piece and this box isn't big enough for it. So I'm just gonna push it down as far as it can go and just try to get it level with the other four or other three. Okay, so let's see how bad that looks. See, that's not bad at all. And I thought I was gonna have to do a bunch of braces and stuff. So that was a pretty simple and easy way to make a platform. That's not the not the most beautiful platform. Maybe it needs like an X. Those that always helps sell it. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. A friend of mine said he's got a computer fan that might fit here into this spot, so I'm not going to glue this one down yet. I'm going to leave it open to wait to see what Durzen brings me to put inside of there. And if it doesn't happen, then I could just tile over it real quick. It won't be a issue at all. Should I do a double layer of? No, that's not bad. I think I will end up doing an X somewhere, either interior style like here, or yeah, I guess I would only be able to do it on the outside. But that would look cool. Would also be another way to like maybe wrap some chains to put another ladder on this side, because I do like the fact that these are big, you know, line of sight. That's great, but if they're impassable or really hard to get over, it really slows down a game. So I like there to be pathways, just natural pathways through each piece, and then added platforms and walkways and bridges and stuff will every time you set up the board, it'll be different, and the amount of modularity is really vast when you do it that way. So if it works well, as long as you put pathways on everything. If I didn't, I would have to remember each time to, you know, put a ladder here. But it's better just to put the ladder there, because I found that, like, you know, when you set up the board, you didn't put a ladder in here, and this piece finally gets put in a very tactically needed position, and somebody gets smoked because all their gangers couldn't get away, or some, you know, a situation like that. So I don't know. I am liking the more tubing. Do I feel like I need any more over here? I don't really think so. Maybe outrigger style. Maybe. I do like that. That would give more support to this side, but I feel like once I get, which I should just do, once I get glue up on the in between this and the tube, I think that'll change how this. So right now it doesn't seem like it's very stable. So I do like that. Let's see, I'm just going to cut some angle cuts on the end of this just so that fits in there just a little bit better. I do like it. I think it needs to be just a little bit shorter. Huh? Like maybe coming up right at where ground level would be. That's better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. So now I'm going to try to match that angle on the other side. Cut this. And how are we going to land? Not the worst. Not the best. This doesn't have to be reinforced, I don't feel, because it's just going to be one of the many things added. To kind of strengthen this up. This particular piece too is kind of more of a visual reference of, you know, walk the plank sort of thing. So that's why doing X's whenever you do scaffolding, that that just makes it very recognizable of what it is. I can go back in here, and if I'm really clean with this hot glue gun, I can actually get it to make it look a little bit like a weld if you're careful with it. If you get it everywhere, just remember to knock down the big blobs so that you don't have the issue of glue not sticking later when you texture it. So, blam, that's pretty good. I'm digging on that. Not even a bad thing. I am feeling like one on this side now would be nice, and I can just, oh, not that one. Just kind of try to match it. So try to match this other side a little bit, or replicate it. Nice, looking good. They aren't exactly lined up, but the way that they kind of mirror each other, it has a very nice effect. The only issue I have with it is I feel like it needs like another support in between these or something. That might be something in the future. I am gonna go ahead and put this piece on here just to cover this. I have decided not to make them both the same level. I'd rather do it multiple levels. I think that makes for more interesting terrain. Hold that there for a second because it does not want to cool. It's very hot in here right now. I'm sweating it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and just reinforce this whole platform while I'm up here messing with it. And a lot of times on the top of these kind of platforms, I like to do granny grading to give myself some texture, or EVA foam kind of planks. That gives good texture as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just let that chill for a bit. I'm gonna move back over to these pieces. grab me up some scissors and some EVA foam. Snip me out some pieces. Perfect. So these are just going to be like representing some supports that go around these posts, kind of like the clamps you see on a chain link fence. So that's what it'll look like. I'm going to do a couple of them. So, man. So I have a friend coming over tomorrow, and we're going to play the new Necromunda, which I haven't played in a while, and I'm excited about it because the newer version just has so many different things in it. It is very imposing because it has so many different things in it, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to get some games in tomorrow. I will probably try to play test something. Hopefully my whole board will get to play on, because I'll tell you what, if you have problems with your terrain, like you build and then you're like, this is a death trap, just play on it more. You got to do some play testing, because you don't really start seeing where the death traps are until you've played a while, or until you've played a while. So you could build really cool looking terrain that is not the best to play on because it's a death trap. So I'd like to fall more on the playability side, but lean very heavy onto the details and the fun little narrative bits, to add more flavor to the game. So we're gonna go ahead and do this next post. Got some more EVA foam here, so I will just use it up. I do really like EVA foam when it comes for things like this, like little patches of armor on Hot Wheels cars for Gaslands. The EVA foam works great, and then you can texture it, you can scrape it all. Super glue when you're sticking it to the car, and it doesn't matter if the car is metal, if the car is primed, like the EVA and super glue and bicarbonate, those three together work really good for making some durable stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple more on this guy. I'm gonna cut 2 of them just so I don't have to stop and cut another one. Oh. That one kind of fell and stuck to me a little bit, but it's alright. I got it in there. No worries. Oh, these are coming out pretty cool. It adds a very nice little detail that I'm liking, and I will show you all here in just a second. Let me get this last one on this piece. Okay, So it's just the details holding the support structure for the next level. Just little details holding that up. You do things like that, and then the believability just continues to increase. The more you give somebody's mind little things for them to attach to, that they recognize, the more immersive and believable it will be for them. So it's definitely a cool thing. I'm gonna go ahead and take this last one and just try to get it over here. We'll see how well it works, but come on, buddy. Not the best, but not the worst. All right, that's looking pretty good. I might do a little bit more fiddly building with this. You think there needs to be some more something in there? Crossbeam. No, I guess not, huh? All right. Well, now that I have that done, I do want to do this piece in, which it's gonna be a pain in the butt. I was trying to get it fit in there earlier. There we go. So just another little weird detail. You won't even really be able to see the angle it is, but it's just another detail in there. I think I'm actually looking pretty good. I could put some more texture on there so that it dries over the evening, which might be a good idea. So we're just gonna toss some glue on some places. And I'm doing this now that as opposed to completely at the end, because I don't know how easily already, if I put this on there, there's no way that I'm going to get my hand back in there. So the fact that I textured it earlier basically saves me from having to mess with it anymore. I will try to get more glue down in there just to keep adding a little texture, because I don't want it to just be totally isolated from the other sand and stuff I'll put on here, because I like the variance of the different textures. So I definitely want it to get some of it. Speaking of various textures, let me go grab a different texture here. So there's some coffee grounds I dried really good. I'm just gonna add some to this. It's just a nice variation of size that I really appreciate. Also, I like the smell of coffee, so working it with is nice. So it just adds another variation of size and texture, which I really do appreciate. It doesn't always have to be done with sand all the time. You don't have to rely on the same thing. But you can if you want. If you like a really smooth, like say you're doing an ash waste or something and you want a really smooth sand, do it. The reason I like the coffee grounds is that they are quite a variety of sizes. So they fill a lot of different gaps just like that. But I've been trying to do these videos about an hour long just to keep myself from overdoing it, because I do have a tendency to not drink enough water or pay attention to what, when the last time I ate was. So I am getting up onto the hour mark, so I think I am going to hop off. I might do another one later this evening if I'm feeling froggy. If not, it was wonderful chatting with all of you, and I will see you next time as I continue this necromunda community build. Later.